I want to read you a tweet from Melissa Reddy. All right? Oh, she's ready, all right. Not for me. Oh, no. Just, hey, BWC, you know what I'm saying? Not BB. Some of you won't understand that. Right, Melissa Reddy. I'm sorry, Melissa. We're only bantering around here. I'm sure you can take it. This tweet she put out last night, Adam Naylor brought it to my attention. So maybe a male journalist has said this as well. I don't know. This is the only one I'm aware of at this time. I don't use Twitter, all right? She said last night, LFC's long pursuit is successtal. The midfielder has signed a deal until 2028, subject to a work permit. Fee around €40 million, another multifunctional player who offers tactical flexibility in the centre of the park. Oh, dear me. You see, I just think I don't know, I think of people like, like old school football managers, you know what I mean? Harry Redknapp, for example, Harry Redknapp. Sam Allardyce, just these like, well, what does he bring to the squad? What does this player bring? Well, he's all right, like, you know what I mean? He's good in midfield. He'll do a job. He'll do a fucking job. But this one, he's a multifunctional player who offers tactical flexibility in the centre of the. All right. There's no wrong with that. It's true. All right, just sounds fancy. All right. I'd just say he's fucking all right. But maybe she can't say that. I can. Now, that's not what I'm taking the piss about. I'm taking the piss about LFC's long pursuit of Ryan Gravenberch. Long pursuit. We've been after him since he was 4 years old, since he was at fucking preschool and that. Long pursuit. I want to reword that. I wish I'd reworded that before I did the, I would put something like, put Liverpool's last minute fucking panic to sign a player who was successful. I mean, come on, guys. Now listen, I don't want you to think I'm putting down this player. I know you get very defensive. I know you do. You get very defensive. Sat there in your Liverpool tops going, hey, leave him alone. All right? I support him till he dies. I die. Yeah. Right? I get it. That's right. Absolutely. Hey, listen, what I'm saying, I ain't got a problem with it. Right? I think, numbers, great. Fantastic. As Brendan Rodgers would say. What I've got a problem with isn't the player. It's the bullshit that these fuckers come out with. The long pursuit. There was no long fucking pursuit. Before the transfer window even opened, I said on here, we got that fucker in the bag. He was stacked if we wanted him. If we wanted him. Now, not being a Twitter ITK or anything, I couldn't provide much more than that other than a bit of common fucking sense. Right? Which, if you remember, I said, Ryan Gravenberch is stacked. What's stacked? Stacked means, you can make that deal. Very confident that you can make that deal happen. Almost guaranteed to make that deal happen. So we can revisit it at any time from A to B, the start of the window to the close of the window. Stacked. Right? That's what I call some of these deals when, look, I was basing it on some stuff that was said to me, right? And this was before the window opened. Then, it will either be the first in or the last in. Right? Was I right? Well, I guess I'm right because I know it's one or the other, but what I mean is there was going to be no in between. And I said, if he comes in first, that will probably, because this is before the transfer window opened, I said, if we sign Ryan Gravenberch first, that will probably be a good indicator for the window ahead because it will show that we're trying to, bring in numbers, quality, as Rafa would say, quality players. Liverpool, they've got him in, that's a good little start. And then they'll focus on the big guns, the primary targets, etc., etc., etc. And then on the flip side, I said, however, if it doesn't happen at the beginning of the window, that would suggest to me, only me, you can believe what you want, that will suggest to me that he will remain stacked until the end of the window and he'll be signed then, right? So he'll either be first or last signing during the window. And if he was the last signing of the window, that should mean, guys, right, that the window wasn't as exciting as we had hoped or We maybe didn't conclude the deals we hoped, and I think most people would agree with me that that is the situation. So I think I was right. And this is by no means a dig at this player, the same as when we signed Endo. Don't give me the bullshit that he's a great player. Klopp always wanted him. Fuck off. If Klopp had wanted him, he'd have got him at the start of the fucking window. Endo and Gravenberg are numbers. That's all it is. And hey, it might work out. And we might go, thank fuck we got them, right? Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing this kid play for Liverpool because he's got a point to prove to his former club, right? I personally think the fee's too high. I think we could have got him cheaper in the earlier stages of the window, but that's irrelevant. Doesn't matter. The fee's paid, and that's it. And you know, we wish him well, and we hope he does well. But don't try and bullshit me that was a long pursuit of Ryan fucking Gravenberg. I mean, I can't even remember when this was. You know what my memory's like, but I remember, you know, his agent being, you know, having the talks with Liverpool officials. It was just like, it's not, you know what I mean? So was that the long pursuit? The long pursuit? Liverpool spent all summer trying to sign this player. What a load of fucking wank, Melissa Reddy. Absolute shite. And this is why we need to stop paying attention to these fucking idiots, honestly. And she is a fucking idiot for saying that. She might be a nice person, but she's still a fucking idiot for saying it. Just like I'm a fucking idiot at times. And it's nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman or out like that. Because the majority, let's be honest, the majority of the time on here, we're talking about the other fucking idiots, Bridget Jones and all them. And every single one of them is a guy. So it's nothing to do with the fact that she's a chick. Fair play to her. But don't tell me it's been a long pursuit. And fans reading that going, oh, we were always in for him then, we tried to make it happen. Oh, so fuck off. Absolute fucking nonsense. And I've been waiting to make this video since last night, since it came up in the chat. When I was told that in the chat on the 17-hour live stream we did yesterday, I was like, well, fuck off, man. Do you know what I mean? I don't really want... someone said, I don't like quoting people by name in case like people go, oh, that's not very nice. But someone said, yeah, Jurgen's been after him since he was born, like. Since he was this big. You know what I mean? He's so funny, isn't he? Full of shite, aren't they? I don't know what the rest of them have said, so don't, like, you know what I mean? I'm not picking on anyone. Liverpool's long pursuit. What's this slaphead got to say? Hang on a minute. James Pearce, Ryan Gravenberg, is that how you pronounce his name? Likely to be the last incoming at LFC in this window. Things didn't work out for him at Bayern, but such a gifted young midfielder with massive potential. And for £34 million, it feels like a great piece of business. There's a fucking surprise. No, it is. Do you know what I mean? I think it's all right. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, there was a suggestion they could have got him for 25 before. And there was another thing as well that, you know, I've seen some people say, because they listen to people like Melissa Reddy. I've seen people say things like, oh no, because someone came in the chat yesterday and said, well, no, don't. It was at the end of the window. It wasn't because Liverpool are desperate for numbers or anything at all. No, what happened, was his club didn't want to sell him. Ah, right. All right, they put up a massive fight, rejecting all them bids, you know, and playing out the drama during the summer transfer window, during the long pursuit of him then, didn't they? What a load of shite. They couldn't wait to see back of him. Now, again, don't take that as having a dig at the player. I hope he comes to Liverpool. He's fucking brilliant. And we go, that's the best £34 million we ever spent. It's not about that. It's me being pedantic. It's me being fucking, like, sick of these fucking journalists. That's what I am. Sick of them. Let's see what the other spazzes have to say. Oh, yeah, I don't think you can say spaz. We're not at school in 1980 anymore, I mean. What's his what's this div got to say here? What's this fucking div here? These fucking journalists, they all chime in, don't they? After Ornstein yesterday, even Joyce, they're embarrassing. I don't want to mention him by name, this one man, but he's an absolute tool and a half, honestly, he really is. Dear me. He's got a YouTube channel, gotta be careful, he might be watching. Right, he didn't really say anything anyway, but there's no surprises there. What's the other one called? Let's see what this one's going to say. Nothing. I know. He hasn't really said anything. Nothing. I don't know, there's a couple of these journalists, that have started their own YouTube channels now, you know what I mean, because they've seen Fabrizio and he's the fucking goat. You won't be beating him, you won't be getting his numbers, that's for sure. No. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, you don't like these journalists, do you? Don't? No, do you know what? It's not a personal thing. They're probably really, really cool people, right? Someone's son, someone's husband, someone's wife, whatever. Mother, it's not that. They're probably really cool people. And the name, the people I've just looked at, I've had no run-ins with any of these people at all. They're doing their job and that's it, but I just don't like the bullshit they talk. And they're not all bad eggs, you know what I mean? Like, if you follow my content, you'll know that I think David Ornstein, is very, very, very good. And Paul Joyce, although I think he had his nose put out a bit this summer. So you keep an eye on him because you might see some articles from him. I don't know. I would imagine the window's closed now. I know the window's closed, but what I mean is I would imagine that he will make attempts now to say, look, come on, what's going on here? Because I think he's been frozen out a bit, and I think everything was put through Ornstein. And like I said last night in the on the live stream, which I forgot. What I said last night on the live stream was that the old school journalists don't exist anymore. You don't have a journalist that finds things out, investigates, finds things exclusive. They've all got everything at the same time because they're briefed at the same time, or they piggyback onto the real journalists. So you've got all the clique there that piggyback onto Ornstein. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe Romano or something like that. So what I was saying on the stream last night is the big gun journos, those guys they're like media organisations. So the media situation has changed, whereas back in the day, the chief executive picked up the phone to his contact at the Liverpool Echo, which used to be amazing, which is now the worst fucking thing in the... Have you ever tried browsing that website on a mobile phone? I don't even go to that website. I try to avoid it. I go on it to review things sometimes, but terrible. But back in the day, Liverpool Echo, boom, and it's out, right? Exclusive or whatever. These days, it's not like that. It's like a press release. It's like issuing a press release to someone that's a big gun, and they put it out there. So the likes of Romano and Ornstein, they are the equivalent, I think, of what the big newspaper organisations, newspaper groups used to be. Do you know what I mean? And it's like they've cut them out and just going with these people now. They are literally, mouthpieces, really. It's really when you see something from Ornstein yesterday, like that statement about Mo Salah and the Saudi approach, the telephone call with Gordon and all that. It's really a press release. It's really Liverpool Football Club issuing a press release but not wanting to admit it officially. Do you know what I mean? So there is no old school journalists anymore. And like I was saying last night, to be honest with you, as much as I can't stand these ITKs on Twitter and stuff like that, they're actually the journalists are no better. They really aren't, because a lot of these journalists are only putting two and two together, like the ITKs. That's it. And what's embarrassing for these journalists is that they went through education and further education and degrees and everything, and they are horrendous. The only space I see for them now, right, to be honest with you, is when they write articles about maybe telling you about a player. This is his quality. He plays like this or he plays like that. Because I think people like James Pearce, for example, are very knowledgeable on stuff like that and good at writing articles like that. And, I've talked about, a couple of these journalists that people seem to listen to what they say. They might at some point have had a little bit of access, but they don't anymore. And they're creating YouTube channels to try and get in on the revenue, right? Because they're not really employed by anyone anymore. Remember, freelance means unemployed, really. Sorry if you're freelance. But it can, that's by the by. But what I'm saying is they're trying to like pass on and like, you know, as being like super in the know, appearing everywhere and promoting their YouTube. No problem with that. But my advice to one of them in particular would be, look, stop pretending you know what's going on and do more of a behind the scenes thing. And I know one of these journalists did a video like that recently. I didn't watch it, but I saw it pop up somewhere. I wouldn't be able to watch it, but because it doesn't matter. But I just think that's the kind of thing that the fans would like. Like, be different. You know, be a journalist, but be different. Don't be someone pretending to know. It's embarrassing watching you tweet seconds after Ornstein or Romano has done it and passing it off as your own. It's absolutely horrendous. You know, let the ITKs do that. You know, let amateurs like me do that. Even, I mean, when I saw Ornstein put that out about Mo Salah, the bid on Twitter, I didn't even put it on the Cop Talk Twitter account because I'm like, fucking put. I mean, because you know what I mean? It's embarrassing. But they could do something different. So one of those journalists, he did, as far as I'm aware, I haven't watched the video and I don't know how good it was. I think he did like a behind the scenes of a Liverpool journalist or something like that. That's the kind of different content that people can't see. You're not going to beat Fabrizio Romano. You're never going to beat Fabrizio Romano. Never. All right? So do something different. And I'm very passionate about these things. You know that? Can you hear the rain? You know, I say to young football supporters sometimes that email me and they'll say, you know, how do I do this? What advice have you got for creating my own Twitter account and getting a following? Or what advice have you got for, you know, running my own website? Blah, blah, blah. Anything like that. I always reply and say, look, don't try and be an ITK, right? Don't try and do that. If you produce good content, people will support you. They will watch you. They will retweet your stuff, they will follow you. Do something different. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I find on this channel. People come to me and say, you're different to the other fucking channel because I don't want to be like them people. I'm on a bit of a rant, aren't I? I just think, I don't know, they're getting on my fucking nerves. And what annoys me more is the gullible that think that these people actually know what they're fucking talking about. I don't claim to know what I'm talking about. I'll say to you, I ain't got a fucking clue, guys. Yesterday I could have said when the announcement of Ryan Cravenberg, when I said I said during the day it'll be late as possible. It's probably in the next 20 minutes, boom, and then it comes. You didn't see me going, you see, my sources told me this. No, it's just I'll be honest and say, well, that's what I think will fucking happen. The long pursuit of Ryan Cravenberg. What a load of shit. Anyway. Maybe you don't care for this kind of content, but you've got to put people right. You know, because people come to me, what do you think of this person? I think they're a fucking idiot. That's what I think. And the ones that are really, really worth your time, I will tell. When it comes to Twitter, right? When it comes to Twitter, you only need to follow at Copso. I don't really use it anyway. I don't want to get caught in that bullshit. You only need to follow Ornstein, Joyce, Fabrizio Romano. That's it, right? If you follow those three accounts, you won't go far wrong, right? The rest of them, the other journalists have not got a fucking clue. James Pearce. Good to see what James Pearce is saying, and he's worth it just for parody and for entertainment values. But James does write some... there's been no women around here. That's why I was making my own pigs in blankets. Oh, I don't know, that might have been the other video previously. You're probably wondering what I just had some pigs and blankets for breakfast. It's not Christmas. It's pissing down. So those, yeah, Fabrizio Romano, Joyce, Ornstein. You don't see Joyce and Ornstein coming out saying, I understand. Well, all right, you do see them say, I understand something. What I mean is, they only tweet stuff that's important. Do you know what I mean? It's not about everything. And I like that. They're all right. Now, I would also follow on Twitter, tag2056. He's my boy, Tag. And there's reasons for, like Tag, there's lots of people you could follow. Lots of my friends are on Twitter. And, people like Adam Naylor that's got a great YouTube channel, for example. But I'm talking about if you... I could list multiple accounts for you to follow. But tag 2056. I can't tell you why, but I just think you should follow that account. But if you're FSG in or a top reg, you might not want to. Okay, so we're done. Remy Abbas. Remy Abbas. Dear me, I don't know if I showed you it in this video. Matthew Beale, great lad, where he sent me this, Remy Abbas, Mo Salah's agent, and Remy Abbas. Like, I don't know if you can see it on his tag, Remy Abbas. I can't look at that dog any different now, do you know what I mean? Every time I see him with a cigar. You don't even know what we're talking about, do you, thick cunt? Right, okay, we're done. We're off. Ah, you're lovely, you. You are. You are. Yeah. You're not having one of them sausages, though. Alright, guys. I'm sorry if this video was a rant. Maybe... I don't like being critical of people. But I don't like being patronised by these idiots either. Alright, guys. I will speak to you later. Have a fantastic week. Hang on, Brendan Rodgers would say, fantastic weekend. Alright, have a fantastic weekend. Please thumbs up the video if you're feeling generous. Hit the love heart button. Alright. And leave a comment. Comments are very important because it gets me through the day. Okay, guys. Adios.